The Jenn Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, is an inspirational hour that'll take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jenn Royster is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Imagine having the ability to use your innate positive energy to dissolve the stuckness in your life, whether it's emotional, physical, or spiritual, through this incredible dynamic show. Get ready to be transformed from Dr. Jenn's live guided healing meditations and intuitive readings, and unveil the power of connecting to spirit, the angels, and your higher self. Dr. Jenn is passionate about helping you find the answers you're looking for through an inward journey that'll strengthen your connection to spirit and help you trust your intuition. Now, here's your host, Dr. Jenn Royster.
Hello everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Dr. Jenn, and if you're new to the show, we're all about the angelic realm, energy healing, and metaphysical topics. We also look at astrology from a soul growth level. Sometimes that's called esoteric astrology. I'm not saying I'm an expert astrologer. I study it consistently. I look for the information. I am an energy healer and an intuitive spirituality coach. And I'm here to help you discover what's right for you, the right path for you, not to just be on the same path as me, and just to teach you about topics that you might want to explore, you're curious about. So we go over different things like that in this show. We have our live chat open for anyone that wants to join us over on the live stream. I do that on my YouTube channel. You just can look up Jenn Royster, or you can go to the website, jennroyster.com, and I have it embedded there. Today, what we're going to talk about is the difference between, I guess what you would say, reality and illusion, and the energy of Neptune. Neptune in astrology is a planet that just has us go beyond our five senses. So if you were to look at what is the five senses, we have smell, taste, hearing, sight, and let's see, what have I said? Sight, hearing, smell, taste, touch. There you go. There's your five. And then we hear sometimes something called the sixth sense. And there's different descriptions for that. A scientific explanation would be it's a navigational system to be aware of the space that you're in, or the space that you occupy in the world, so to speak. It's also connected with intuition. I mean, it's your navigation. You know where you are. Very much my focus is you trusting your own intuition. That's so very important, especially these days, but it's always been important. You want to trust your gut. You don't want to self-doubt. So that's one of the things that I really like to encourage people to work on if they're not familiar with that. It's just something that's so very important. So I want to tell you a little bit about this Neptune energy. We're going to work with angels and intuitive readings with things like that, messages, insights, and encouragement. I work with the angelic realm, and I have my whole life, honestly. They've always been there for me as a child. It's just a natural connection that I trust, and they have never failed me, so why should I doubt that? Everybody can work and learn how to work with their angels. This particular one is something that they just always bring a positive, uplifting message. No matter what's going on, no matter how difficult it might seem or how dark it may seem, they always bring in something that can get you through it. I've seen so many numerous stories, I've had my own, but they can do that no matter what's going on. And it's up to us to decide whether we want to embrace that or reject it, really. So I'm just sharing things that have worked and helped me along the way, things that can help you along your way. So with this, let me start by telling you some of this. First of all, Neptune energy is creative energy. And it takes us into a dreamy type state. So you have your five senses. That's very tangible in the physical world. You rely on those, your sight, your hearing, your smell. You trust that in this tangible world to know where and how to go about your day, so to speak. That sixth one that I was telling you about, you have this intuition. You know where you are. You know what space you're taking up, basically. You know how to navigate. But if you don't trust that, that's not something you see, feel, touch, or anything like that. But if you don't trust that, okay, sometimes it's related to it, sometimes it's not, but I know it's important. You have to trust that. Intuition's connected with your soul. Your soul knows exactly why you're here, knows exactly what you're here to do. If you don't trust that, and you're always looking for your soul purpose, you're going to miss it. So you want to be able to trust that. But this being creative, it takes us out of the five that are this physical world and takes us into a place to look beyond. Now, if you think about it, I was thinking about this earlier. Anybody that's in a creative mindset, like you don't have to be an artist, but what if you were, a developer, or you were an engineer, or you were an inventor, or anything like that. Just think that way. You can do this with your own personal life as well, but think about those people that just went past what was the norm. You can't do that with your five senses if it hasn't been created yet. You have to be able to go to this place where you can dream into, allow yourself to explore things that aren't in the tangible world yet. Neptune makes that easier. That energy, that's what I'm trying to explain. Neptune makes it to where it opens this doorway to where anything's possible in the dream world. If you think about how crazy dreams can be, and there's no way you can fly in a dream, but you don't fly in real life. We're not taking logic out here. We're allowing ourselves to explore things that aren't possible yet. But what could we learn from that? What can we learn from that realm that is beyond this physical world? Makes it a lot easier also to connect with angels and spirit guides and have insight and your intuition and connect and listen to your soul. So that's the part of it that I love. It's not about avoiding. It takes you to the higher consciousness level. And dreams and illusions are here, okay? So what's the difference here? Because an illusion can be deceiving, and I'll go into that. The other thing that I noticed that is happening is Neptune will align with the sun. It's going to align with the sun on March 12 of 2022 at 22 degrees Pisces. So we have a lot of twos there again. When I added all of that up, you have 3 for March. So you have 3 plus 1 plus 2, that's 3. You keep adding them up. You can add that up to see what kind of a number that is. It was interesting how that was lining up. But we had 3s in there, which are about body, mind, soul, being all of it included in yourself. You have a body, you have mind, you have a soul. All 3 aspects. Your spiritual side is just as important as your physical being here. We're spiritual beings living in a physical world, right? Then you have all these 2s which are working in relationships and working together. So you have this balance, and you have ascended masters in there. Who are they? Those are people that's considered a group that has lived here before and understands the human aspect of living in a physical world, but they have ascended very, very high. People that are considered ascended masters are people like Buddha, Muhammad, and Jesus. Those are considered ascended masters in the list. They've just figured, they're very advanced on a spiritual, higher consciousness level. They get it. So if you think about, okay, wow. So they're having, and that's interesting. When you look at angel numbers, if you see a lot of 3s, are ascended masters around you? Do you feel connected to one in particular? Are you working to bring a balance between body, mind, and soul? Those are things to look at. All right, so if the sun aligns with Neptune every year, which it does, but it allows us to tap into this higher consciousness. This one in Pisces makes it a little bit more, you know, spiritually awakening, so to speak. This one takes it even easier because Pisces is naturally that way. It's a little bit more floaty. It's a little bit more, let's go out into the outer realm. Let's go look at the different dimensions. It makes it more, you feel like, yeah, I can feel that connection more. You might feel more emotional. You might feel this sign a little bit more. You might feel that Neptune energy more. It's creative. It's watery, you know. It's gentle, and at the same time, it helps you leave the tangible physical that you can see, which, okay, maybe the rational mind, and it lets you see the dream place. And it's like, well, wait a minute, I don't want to lose my rational mind. No, you're not. You're going to just allow yourself to expand, to see things differently, and creativity is born in that world. It has to start somewhere. It has to come from, it basically starts from nothing. It's energy. You're moving into these dreams. It's like, what is possible? If you listen to this, it's very much connected with law of attraction and when you're working with law of attraction. So if Neptune is guiding us to think outside the box or think out of those main tangible senses and remind us there's so much more to life than just what's right here, it helps you go beyond it. It helps you connect to that realm, different levels of dimensions and consciousness. If you stay right here in this world, yes, that's all right here. It's there, but you won't be able to see beyond or connect with that. So that's where this can be very helpful. The planet being associated with higher consciousness is also associated with unconditional love, because in higher consciousness, that's where you'll see more unconditional love, where that's the norm. You know, it's like, where's unconditional love? You don't see it in the third dimension as much. Living in fifth dimension is very much a goal for me, and you can do that now. They all exist at the same time. And that reality of living in a place where you're not afraid of all the things, and it's just very different. But the way you would do that is practicing and working with these other dimensions, and you see, it's not a big deal to live in unconditional love in fifth dimension. It's not a big deal to just do things and not worry about it and not feel any fear. That's no big deal. It's not even an issue. Where 3D can be a completely different fear-based. Oh my gosh, I don't know, and you feel stuck. You see what I'm saying? So it's very normal to go back and forth between all the different dimensions. You can go through all of them. Anything that's your highest ones, like say your highest is 3. Okay, that's about as high. You can't go any higher. But if you can practice stepping in and out of 4 and 5. 4 is kind of a transition to 5. And then even higher, there's higher dimensions than that. Angels are in a much higher one. 7, I've heard 7. I think they're around 7 or 8, but some people say a different one. It just depends on your perspective with that. So it really does help you to just see past what's right here and to see where could I create something different. Intuitive work is much easier in this energy as well. So if this carries this higher consciousness and unconditional love, it also carries this amazing energy that does remind you that you're more than just this physical body living in this physical world. You're so much more than that. It lets you tap into that side where there isn't nothing to be worried about, and you find and you discover things about yourself that you can bring back into your physical world, so to speak. We have a soul that's on a journey that goes beyond this lifetime. This is what you'll have more access to. Neptune also helps us to see that, like time and space, that's really kind of an illusion as well. Life just unfolds, and there's moments, and then there's no beginning or ending. It just keeps going. That's something to wrap your brain around. There's a dreamy energy here for intuitive work. You know, it's a great energy to work with your intuition and connecting with higher dimensions. Creativity work, if you're an artist, if you want to explore deeper states of consciousness and just find that there's something more to life than just this basic, logical, practical thing all the time. Yes, we want to have grounded, logical decisions that we make, but we also want to trust our five senses, but we also want to trust the ones that go beyond the tangible world. And sometimes things just don't seem, when you're in a spiritual awakening, I know that I've felt this many times. When you've gone through this shift and you just know there's more to life than just what you see, and you connect with these things, there's things that happen that just don't fit. You know, there is no explanation for some of it unless you allow yourself to go beyond the physical world. You see? It's not about escaping there and avoiding responsibility. Absolutely not. It's not about that at all. But it is allowing you to see beyond and see the possibilities that are uninhibited, that don't have any restraints on them. And it's a very important part of creating something new and different and working with law of attraction, really, because it's energy. So sometimes, though, I want to give you a heads up, because this is such a wonderful energy, you just want to stay in it. You don't want to avoid coming back and being grounded. You also want to trust your intuition, trust your instincts, all your senses, because it does have a tendency sometimes, if you're just avoiding, let's say that, if you're trying to do more of an escape of things, you could see, it could deceive you. Let me put it that way. And that's why I want to bring you back into earth here. I want to ground you, and I want you to see that there is logic to this place that you go to that's dreamy. So sometimes we don't want to see what the truth is, and we want to see something else. And sometimes it can easily deceive you. So not very much. I don't want that to frighten you. It's more, you just want to be aware. If you see something that might be clouding your judgment, you don't want to make decisions during that time. That's as simple as that. It might look like, oh my gosh, that's phenomenal. That's great. It's time to go. But if it's something really new and really out there, you might want to wait and ponder it and think about it a little bit. Just work with it, stay grounded, and wait till that energy passes and then make a decision. It might be fine. It can show you possibilities, but it can also, you may see something and it might cloud your judgment a little bit. So just know that. That's important to know. So I'm just keeping this real, okay? It's not like just go off there and it's, you know, rainbows and unicorns and everything's perfect. Because this is a tough world to live in, isn't it? So we want to make sure we're making good, concrete decisions with Neptune energy. It's not really about making decisions in this energy. It's about exploring possibilities and looking at things. But I wouldn't necessarily make a decision in this energy. I would use it. I wouldn't judge anything that might come across to you. I wouldn't believe everything you see or hear. I would just go, okay, all right. You know that phrase, let me just take that with a grain of salt or think about it. Let me just give benefit of the doubt and pull back and just wait and see how I feel about it in a week or two. You know, just think about that. That's important to know. When I asked the angels about something that could help with this, because we want to be able to explore this, because it feels so good to go into that place where nothing is restricted. How can we do that? Well, honestly, during Neptune energy, I would definitely work with Michael to protect you and keep you safe. I would work with Archangel Michael as far as, like, before you go to sleep, just say, hey, watch over my dreams tonight. Or if you go into a meditation, thank you for watching and protecting me while I go into this meditation. We should be doing that to have a shield up anyway. Whenever you do a meditation, you know, I'm always thinking about that, is just, you want to feel safe so you can let go. And they can watch your back. Your angels can watch your back. Just ask them to. When you come back out, it can also help protect you from being misled or misunderstand something, or clouding your judgment. So you don't have to worry about it. This is where the angels are fantastic for something like this. You can go and explore, and you may find that little gem, that little diamond in the rough that's perfect for what you were looking for to add to a project or somewhere in a different direction you want to go. But you want to do that and know that you got yourself covered here, and you don't have to second guess it later. I still would, give yourself time to think. It's not like rush into decisions. And sometimes it can feel like that. So you don't want to pass judgment. You want to just, not make concrete decisions, but allow yourself to explore and create plans and come up with new ideas. But kind of leave it on the drawing table, until you know for sure. That's all I'm saying. Because where you need to make consideration is you need to make good, tangible, concrete decisions, but it can be a little bit clouded during this energy, so you don't want to do it then. Just hold off making those decisions until that Neptune energy passes, and it will. It's usually just more of a couple of weeks normally. This energy can be like, sometimes you can feel like you're just walking blindly into different areas, but you're not afraid to do it. And that's the interesting part. You're just walking into some brand new adventure and you have no idea what to expect around the corner. That's why I would say walk this energy with Archangel Michael and your guardian angels. Definitely do that, because you don't have to worry about it that way. You know that they're going to give you a heads up. Your intuition might be strong and nag you a little bit where, that was such a cool thing, but I don't know, I feel hesitant. Just leave it on the table. Just leave it. Don't be afraid to do that. You don't feel pressured that you have to make decisions immediately. If you come up with this really cool idea, or you see this idea, you can wait for it. Be patient with it. It can trigger, Neptune energy can, not triggle. How did I come up with that? I was trying to say trickle and trigger. And I say what it can do is kind of give you this, especially if it's been stressful for you, you can feel like, I just want to escape. I just want to escape reality for a little bit and have a break. That's why I'm giving you a heads up. It's a great energy for creativity, but it also has this fine line where you don't want to completely escape and disconnect and avoid, okay? So just know that you can do this, but you bring your angels with you. Absolutely bring that protection that's provided, because it's a place to go and see what's going on. You see it with, sometimes we escape and we may have addictions. They may feel like they pop up a little bit more, like, yeah, let's just go there and get away from this. My mind needs a break from this world. You may feel that a little bit more. At the same time, don't go through that by yourself. Make sure you reach out to somebody you trust, or have help with that if addictions seem to pop up with this. An artist, and I've seen that so much, creative people are not afraid to explore these realms. That's where they come up with some of the most incredible things. People that have ingenuity, that want to design something brand new. At the same time, it can get very appealing to stay there. There's an important balance for that. It's important that you pull back and you have balance. Overall, this is a great energy to work with your intuition. You can tap into it. I definitely would say go on this ride with your angels. Ask them every day. Don't be afraid of it. Just say, can you watch my back and let me know, if there's something. And the biggest thing right here is just know, if you feel like you just want to escape more than you want to actually be serious about it, that would be an indication to pull back a little bit. But if you're exploring and you're seeing some great ideas, just write them down, take notes, sort it out, but you don't have to make any concrete major life decisions on it. You're going to a realm that's beyond the physical to connect with intuition. Intuition is amazing. Connecting with angels is amazing. It's a gift that I cherish and I respect humbly. At the same time, they don't let me do that either. That's the one thing I like about working with angels. It's like, no, we're not going to escape that. Because sometimes you feel that way. Life can be tough. You just don't want to feel it right now. You know, you're feeling this overwhelm. And I want you to know that when they come in, and I'll ask them, I'll just say, you know, I'm really feeling this one, whether it's grieving a loss or something else, the sadness of the world. I was reaching out in the last couple of weeks while I'm still doing those prayers and support and healing for Ukraine. And I've been doing that, and I will continue to do that. These people are fighting. And they're fighting for their lives. They're fighting for their freedom. And but we are too, as individuals, we are working and trying to overcome obstacles on a personal level. So this is when you feel like, especially an empathic person can feel sensitive to this, allow the emotions to just let that. Sometimes you may just cry a lot. Let it happen, because that energy is moving off of you, because we can't absorb the whole world and keep it there, but we can help support and send the positive. And so if you love this kind of energy, don't be afraid of it. Just keep yourself grounded and work with it. It sounds like I'm saying work with it logically, but it's really not reality energy. It's the strangest thing to explain. You just want to know, you may feel this 4 or 5 days before March 12, and here we are March 10, so you might be feeling it already. You might be feeling it about 5 days after. So it's a good 10-day window. And then after that, so say by March 17, 18, you still like that idea that you discovered, then work with making a decision then. You may say, forget it, scrap it, gonna start something else. Or you might say, you know what, that little aspect that I did see is a great idea. I'm gonna work with that. That's how I've done it a lot, because I'm not one to get rushed into decisions. I do not like it. If you push me, oh boy, I can dig in even deeper. No pushing. I'm that way. But that has protected me too. I'm not saying I couldn't go faster, but at the same time, I'm not rushing into a decision. I want to know for a fact that I'm not going to second guess it. So everybody has a different pace with that. And then we had this Jupiter energy coming in, you know, that was really just pushing us out there. And don't be afraid to look beyond. This energy is fantastic for figuring out those different aspects that are creative energy. Remember, creativity is in a space that hasn't happened yet. So it's not going to be in the physical world yet. So you have to go over there to tap into that. And you don't want to be afraid to do that. It will feel unknown sometimes. You can feel like you're walking around blindly a little bit. And that's why you want to take your angels with you. So that's kind of the idea of this energy. So let me go over and say hello to everyone in the chat. Hello, everyone. How is everyone? Oh, hey, Beth. Missed you guys, too. Hi, Lisa. Hello, Racer Girl. And Michelle. So here's the thing. I wanted to tell everyone that working with Michael has been probably the best thing I have ever done in my whole life. I mean, I work with all of the angels, whichever ones want to come in and work with me, and then some are in there more than others. But if you are empathic, or if you are a healer, if you work in spirituality, or if you work with people, you might just work in a big retail store or something. I don't know. You might work, you know, you might work with groups of people. You might be that front line for the public. I don't know who or what you do, but that's energy. You're interacting with energy all day long. And so working with Michael is the best thing I've ever done. I mean, to have him with you, to give you heads up, your guardian angel works for Michael, if you want to put it in a perspective like that. He kind of oversees all the guardian angels. So working with your guardian, I mean, that's why we have one. The guardian angel's right there all the time. You just have to ask. But just remembering and being aware that we're not going into anything by ourselves is the best thing ever. And when it feels like, I don't know, I'm not sure, you just pull back. Michael's the one that can take the fears away, cut those cords. And then you also a protector. He has the energy of protector. But basically what we're doing here is we're taking the essence of the energy or the attributes of this angel's energy, and then they teach us how to do that for ourselves. Very much teach us how to do it for ourselves. So I love that. If you need a boost of positivity because you just can't quite get yourself out of the slump, call on Archangel Jophiel. Jophiel just lifts and brings that positive frequency and helps you laugh at things instead of being so serious about it. I like that. If you're looking for healing energy, whether it's physical, mental, spiritual, whatever it might be, relationship, any kind of healing energy, that's Raphael. There's lots of things out there. Another angel group that I want to bring up is the angels of mercy. A lot of times when we feel like all hope is lost, or we are just devastated, or something very tragic or something like that, angels of mercy are who to call on. It's a group, more of a group to me. It's like it's just calling this entire group of support. But they bring in something that's very comforting when there's something very, very tough going on. And I wanted to point that out. Another angel I wanted to point out today, which is an important angel at times, is Archangel Raguel. Raguel is the angel of harmony and justice and brings solutions to problems. So if you have something like that going on, it's sometimes called the angel of justice. So it's not for revenge and anything. The angels don't work with hatred and revenge. They don't do that. They're coming from the higher divine love part of this. But to bring that energy into a situation that feels very dark is a very good angel to call on. So how do we do that? The best thing to do is take it seriously, close your eyes, and give it the time of day. I mean, 5 minutes to respect that you are calling on help, and give them the time of day. Like, if you know what I'm saying with that, just, like stop. Just stop all this busyness. Stop and listen too. Like after you put that request out there, say thank you for being there for me. Have gratitude and go about your day, but listen. Listen for the different nuances that might come in, the nudges that may come. You're looking for the nudges that are consistent and over again and don't change. If it's all over the place and changes constantly, I wouldn't listen to that. I would wait till that consistent nudge or that hint or that suggestion pops up. You'll hear it from different sources. You might see consistent numbers. You might see, or different people will deliver the same comment to you or something, and you're like, wow, they don't even know each other, and they said exactly the same thing. You might read it. It just might pop up randomly for you. That's what you want to look for. That's super important. Super, super important. So I'm offering right now, if anybody that's in the chat or listening right now wants to know or ask any questions or ask for angel readings, you can. So go ahead and put your questions out there in the live chat, and we'll see what we can do with that. Also, if you have something that is really troubling you and you need that support and that nourishment, just like I said, 5 minutes, you don't really need more than 15 minutes to just close your eyes and just be and focus on the energy of that angel. For example, if you were to just close and focus that you want to learn and receive and work with the energy of Michael, that would be courageous energy, fearless energy, strength energy, endurance energy, just assertive, protector energy kind of thing. Think of that. That would be the essence of this angel. If you were looking for working with some sort of healing, you would, for Archangel Raphael, that would be more, you know, the nurturing energy. It's gentle. It's like what's uplifting, what's healing, what's soothing, what's calming, what's easing the pain, so to speak. And you're working with the essence and the energies of these angels, and that is how you would work with them. It's interesting to describe, and at the same time, this is great energy to work with angels in. Very safe as far as I'm concerned to work with the angels in this energy. You don't have to worry about it because they're going to watch your back. But you need to be willing to watch your back too. So don't forget, you're a participant, not just somebody or angels doing it for you. We're working with this energy, not just sit back and they're going to do it all. You know, that's not how we're going to learn anything. This is a kind of a hands-on learning experience, right? So let's see, Jophiel would be anything that would uplift that situation, because that one is the angel of positivity. Haniel is an angel that is very associated with the lunar cycles and the moon energy. Intuition as well. So Haniel would be good in this energy because you're going into this spiritual, beyond this dimension realm kind of thing, and you're working with intuition. Haniel is a great one to help you learn and sharpen your skills. If you were to feel that, okay, I've done this, I've done all these things, and then you go about your day and you get this little nudge or this hint of something like, I don't know, what was that? Acknowledge it. You may not know for sure if that was a yay or a nay on anything, or something to be cautious of, or something to do. Just take note of it until you are sure. You can also ask for some clarity. It's like, you know, I'm kind of getting the sense that that's not a good idea. Could I have another message for clarity? And say thank you. You can do that. And that works great. What? Whoops, to be with, not, I see, Lisa, can I ask the angel, I'm going to go over here, I was trying to understand that. Can I ask the angel guidance for or with someone else, like my 7-year-old, he's going through friend issues? Yes. Children, you can work with angels on their behalf. Not, I wouldn't say necessarily adults, and you can absolutely also teach. I have actually had clients all the way from when they were 2 years old being brought in. I still have clients that are children that I do private sessions with. And I mean, I've seen some of them grow all the way up into adulthood. I've still got some that I work with. And they, one of the first things I was teaching them was how to feel safe. I taught them how to protect themselves with Michael, and absolutely you can do that. You can teach them about the different angels. You can teach them how to protect themselves with a shield and ask Michael to protect it like a guard, you know. I've had, I let the children decorate the outside of their protective shield because it's imaginary, you know, in their minds, so to speak. And I mean, they've come up with the most creative ways that they've protected their shield. They've put all kinds of stuff on the outside that made them feel safe. They can also, when it comes to friend issues, you can ask Raguel to, that's like harmony, justice, finding solutions that work for everybody. Usually you can find some kind of harmony and peace and ask for that, you know, suggestion. And sometimes working, and children are learning how to work with friends and relationships by, sometimes we have to stand up for ourselves and sometimes we have to compromise a little bit. So children are very resilient and very flexible and very quick, and they move to the next thing very quickly, but they can start to learn this. I know that helped them so much when I was teaching them things like that. I hope that would make sense to you, Lisa. Let's see. Ask for angel guidance with someone else. But that is the angel guidance immediately. It was like, teach him about these angels and how safe they are and how wonderful they are to help you. that was the answer to that. Michelle, my daughter and I are going through a strain in our relationship. What does my guide see in our future about getting close again? Okay, the first thing that was popping up was it might be a pullback to maybe she's needing to feel, all right, this is awkward, but I'm going to just say what I'm picking up. I'm picking up that she feels that she needs to exert her independence. At the same time, if you're still the parent and she's not an adult yet, you know, obviously we have to have those constraints. I would work with jovial, and that's what I'm picking up. Jovial and the harmony of balancing there. Because sometimes children think that parents aren't listening. Sometimes they think we're not even paying attention to how they feel, and it's trying to remember, I'm not saying you don't, because you're asking because you care. You care very much about what's going on. And at the same time, we have all these emotions going on. But what I'm feeling is sometimes they just need to know that we're listening. We don't have to agree. And I would work with the listening. Because as parents, we are so busy sometimes, and we're having to be that assertive and set some rules and ground rules down for them and some direction for them. And then at the same time, as they grow or even become young adults, it can get a little weird. Sometimes they're just going through something, and sometimes just letting them have that space to do that. It's a little bit, I feel there's an assertive of independence. So what I would ask for with angels is asking for clarity to where I'm actually listening to you. I understand and love you very much, but at the same time, I'm your mom and I love you and I want you to be safe. You know, that kind of thing. I'm just giving examples. So, because I'm leaving the privacy there about what the situation is. And so there is this intention. I would also, every day, ask for clearing of energy in the space that you guys share. Whether you live together or don't, if you are on the phone or if you are in the same space, clearing the energy to allow a positive higher vibration will help a lot too. Believe it or not, and I'm going to go into this because this can happen, if there's very intense negative energy like anger or resentment or something that's happened, it can actually linger in spaces and it can be felt. I'm going to tell you what, I can feel it. I have to clear my space pretty regular, but you know, because I'm working with so much energy from everybody else, I clear it all the time. I clear it daily. But especially when you're going through something like that, I would definitely put that intention out and ask Michael to clear the energy of the space where the problem is, whether it's in the house, in a car, in a space, on a phone call, on a text. You can clear energy on all of that. You can clear energy on a website. You can clear energy anywhere. You can put shields up just about anywhere. But you want the energy cleared because sometimes that frustration lingers and affects things, especially if we're going through something. So that's what I'm picking up for you, Michelle. It's a little bit of this and that, but just hang in there. Maddie would love to know if angels have any insight into whether I should be more proactive right now in terms of putting my ideas out there, or is my current pace what it needs to be? I would say the current pace needs to just be where you are because of the Neptune energy. I'm not sure if you just joined us or not, but I was talking about that earlier. I'm not sure when you joined. You may have missed that first half, but Neptune energy I would wait. And if you haven't heard the first half, I would go back and listen to that after the show, because this energy can bring out ideas and just go, but then you don't want to be misled into something you don't know. So definitely what I immediately felt was just stay at the pace you are for till about 17th or 18th of March or so, and then look at it. But go back and listen to the first half if you didn't hear it, and you'll know why I'm saying that. Oh, you're welcome, Lisa. Beth, okay. Jen, I have 2 new job opportunities. One is a better long-term environment. The other is a safer short-term environment. Any thoughts? Which one do you love the most is the first thing that came into my mind, because I'm asking. I'm also getting this grin from your friend. You have that friend still comes around for you a lot. Definitely comes around for you a lot. Which one do you love the most? But long term, you're looking, you want to look at what you want to accomplish. You do have to look at long term things, and at the same time, if the short term is fun and that's it, or immediately what came to mind was, which one do you want to do the most? So whether it's short term or long term, that's what came up. I would also, if you can slow it down and not jump too quick, wait for something to come in clear. But that was the answer. It was, which one do you love the most is the one to do. Just like that. It could be the long-term one. It could be the short-term one. I'm not trying to invade that privacy. I'm trying to go with what I got. And that's exactly what I got. Which one do you love the most? So that's what you would be thinking about and feeling comfortable with. So that's interesting with the job opportunities. Better long-term, others safer short-term. Safer short-term. That's interesting, the wording you use, but it's which one you love the most. I'm making sure that there wasn't anything else out there, but that's what I got, okay? Definitely got that. The other things that can help is, who's getting a lot of weird numbers? Are you getting numbers? Because that's been happening a lot. There's a lot of number combinations popping up. I wanted to ask that because if you had a number combination you're trying to understand, let's go there too. Angels use numbers. They use them too. Well, I mean, numerology uses numbers, and it's similar. But angels will also use numbers. So they will use numbers a lot, especially if you keep seeing it over and over and over again. And it might be, it's funny because you might see a number combination and then that goes away and you see another one. Okay, it stays in the moment of what you need to focus on at that time. So also you're looking at, if I'm getting a certain group of numbers and my mindset has changed, why is it changing? What happened there? So you want to look at that. They don't just use numbers, but they do use numbers a lot because numbers are easy to spot and you'll see them and it catches your attention if it's repetitive or the same number and over again, things like that. Like every time you look up at the clock, it's the same time. Stuff like that's interesting. So let me see. Okay, yeah. We have like about a 20-second delay, so I have to put that question out and wait a few seconds to see what pops up. Let's see here. Lisa, combination of 333, 1111, 1010, 555, 1212. I keep seeing these. Wow. Okay. That's a lot. 333. 333 is a number that is the Ascended Masters. Okay. So 333 also is, I've got like so much notes here. Let me pull this up. Okay, so if 333 is coming up a lot, you're looking at that balance of your body, mind, soul. It's also Ascended Masters could be around you because they're protecting you and they're with you and they're working with you. Remember, Ascended Masters, and you may have one in particular that you're drawn to. But Ascended Masters are very high dimensional, high evolved souls that guide and know what it's like to live as a human. So that's pretty cool to have those around. I know when I was going through a big major job thing, this was 20-some years ago, I kept seeing the threes. No kidding, man. I had threes everywhere, and I ended up renting a building that was the shape of a triangle. I had three sides. And it was no kidding. So, I mean, that's an example. So they're working with you. That's pretty cool. The more you see that, the more they're around. The 1111s, that one is definitely, it's about choices you're making for the self. It's doubled, tripled, but the ones are all about, focusing positively because you're manifesting. Manifesting, that's a number where, oop, there's the 1111. What am I thinking about? Because you want to make sure if it's not positive, switch it to something positive. Because you're in a manifesting mode. Things are happening for the self. Okay? When you have a 1010, that's interesting. That's that number 1 again, but magnified by the 0. The 0 is a divine number of frequency of the God energy kind of thing, I guess a way to explain it, that is magnifying that 1. So you're seeing the 1010, like you're going to magnify this. So you're going through a lot of personal evolving on a spiritual awakening level from what I can see here, and it's moving and shifting quite a bit. So you're putting a lot of effort into it too. You don't even probably, well, that was a real good grammar sentence, wasn't it? I'm thinking out loud, it gets really weird when I'm in these realms with them. It feels like if you were to think back 6 months to a year, you're not the same person at all that you were then. That's the impression I'm getting, that you have completely changed that much. In a spiritual way. You're evolving, you're shifting. The 5s are coming in behind that, I see. The 5s are the big change number. When you see that magnified or tripled or whatever, number 5 is the number of big changes coming. So sometimes these numbers come in to let you know, hey, you're on track. You're definitely on track. You're shifting. You're changing. They're not negative. It's like, oh, no, it's going to change. No, it's letting you know, yep, it's shifting. The situation's shifting. You're shifting. Expect changes, things like that. The 12s are cool. The 12s are taking the 1 and moving up to the next level of what we've grown with our self growth is now evolving into how we're interacting in relationships and connecting and feeling that connection with others. And that's doubled. So that's a good number too. You're on it. They're actually, any number is good. It's just which way you're looking at, but you're seeing a lot of different combinations. I don't know if you're seeing 1 and then it goes to the next or to the next or to the next, but that's what those mean. They're letting you know, hey, you're on track with this. So whatever you might be focusing on in the moment, I can almost say, I can't say 100% because I don't have any actual writing all this down, but I would say 99% of the time, whenever I've asked the angels for some help on something, I always see the 444s behind that. I mean, within seconds, I'll see 444s, 444 everywhere. That's letting me know they heard me. They'll say, yep, we heard you, we got you, we're on it, we're with you. And that support of seeing those 4s is amazing. It always happens every single time after I've asked them for something, or asked for assistance with something, or asked to send some healing somewhere. They'll let me know. I've asked for some, it doesn't matter. They always send me that. I see 5s when big changes happen. I see 12s a lot when it's time to put that out there and share what I've grown into with someone else. Things like that. So let me see. She's also saying, yes, a year ago on the 18th is when I had the bilateral mastectomy. Okay, I'm not the same person. Thank you. This helps so much. Yeah, that entire experience that you went through with this has shifted you to the soul being part of a very important part of who you are. And it's amazing because we see things. Sometimes when we go through very big challenges like that, we find that, wow, I've evolved so much, and I never would have discovered or learned the things I've learned if I hadn't gone through that. Nobody wants to go through things, but at the same time, when we are willing to see what it can help us learn and grow on a soul level, it's huge. I've had those experiences, and I don't regret them now because I go, they were awful when they happened, but at the same time, man, I learned a lot. I wouldn't be who I am today if I hadn't have gone through it. So I'm saying things like that because that's the way you want to approach challenges for soul growth. That's what's always worked for me. And then when I just feel like I need that little extra boost, yeah, thank you, angels, for doing that. So let's see, Beth. Thank you. This is so helpful. You are so welcome, Beth. Absolutely. The reason we want to acknowledge and pay attention, if you guys are seeing some numbers popping around like that, or if you're seeing different consistent messages, you might keep seeing or feeling a nudge of the same comment. And then you see it somewhere, and then you read it somewhere else, and then somebody else says it. Pay attention to that too, because they just drop these little hints. When you're working with like a healing angel like Raphael, he's very gentle but consistent. He's very truthful too. I mean, if you're looking for healing, you know, and say it's something about health, and then you're getting this nudge, and these are just examples, guys, but say you're getting a nudge like, it's time to clean up the diet, or it's time to start your exercising, or, you know, and you're like, oh, yeah. But at the same time, it won't stop, and he won't be aggressive with it, but you'll keep getting this nudge like, oh, I know. Well, who's the one holding back here? It's not the angels didn't answer us. We're just avoiding it because we were like, yeah, you know, we don't really want to do that. And at the same time, we do. It's something we want, and we always feel good if we go there. But sometimes this is like this struggle between the resistance of our ego side and what we want on our spiritual soul side. So, and everybody has it. It's, you know, remember, we all have both sides. Everybody has a light and a dark side. Everybody has a positive, negative, however you want to say it. Everybody has this side that can be resistant at first to something new and different. Or, you know, why would you avoid it? You know, or, you know, resistance to responsibility for our health sometimes comes in like that. But they'll give you the answer. Sometimes we don't want to hear the answer. And I just want to remind everyone that he's very consistent but calm. It's calm and steady, and they don't ever overwhelm us with something we don't, you know, we can't handle. They're not like that. And so I find the angelic realm the best to work with because of the way they support consistently, and they don't push and they don't frighten. They won't do that, but they will give you an answer. It's just up to us if we want it or not, and they will let you know. And the numbers are some of the easiest way. The numbers are some of the easiest way to get and track. If you put that intention out there, like, and you just let them know, hey, work with a guardian angel or work with the whole realm. Just say, hey, I'm putting it out there that I'm going to be paying attention to messages that you'll try to send me. And like, hey, the numbers work, but they may test you. They may try to send it a different way too. So know that they might do that, and be okay with that. Let them show you how connected you really are. Let them show you different signs and symbols with things. I mean, they do it with me with nature all the time. I see the different specifics with the nature and the power animals and stuff like that. I see the numbers. I see messages all the time. I can also tune that off if I want to, but I don't really want to. I like knowing they're there. I like knowing that I have somebody watching my back all the time for my whole life. Even if nobody else wanted to be around me, I have that. So I'm not alone. I'm never alone going into anything. And you aren't either. So I hope everyone, oh my goodness, guys, thank you guys. Just a big kudos and a big hug of love and support. Thank you, Lisa and Beth, for the generous support in the super chat. Thank you so much. We always apply that to the show to keep going, and I really appreciate that. Those are just they're just giving from their heart, and it always means a lot to me, and I want to say thank you for that. Today was very inspiring and helpful. Have a great week, everyone. Thank you, Lisa. That's awesome. Today is a day that I was looking forward to this show. We're going to close now, but I was really looking forward to this one because I always enjoy working with angels, but at the same time, we always want to know that we've got support no matter what. And this Neptune energy is good stuff, but go in there with your angels. You don't have to worry about it. Don't be afraid to explore possibilities. Just don't feel rushed to make a decision yet. And with that, I want to say thanks to everyone that showed up today. I enjoyed interacting. We did some reads. We learned about the Neptune energy. If you're a creative mind out there, this is good energy. Just go in there with your angels. And with that, I want to say thanks, and we will see you next time here on the Jenn Royster Show. Namaste.
You've been listening to the Jenn Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life. Dr. Jenn Royster is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Imagine having the ability to use your innate positive energy to dissolve the stuckness in your life, whether it's emotional, physical, or spiritual, through this incredible dynamic show. If you've missed any part of this show or any other show,